Now, Pavoratiis was a good friend.
Hello, allow me to introduce myself. I am Pavoratiis, and I'm here to bring you the true issues that you will be voting on in the upcoming election in 2024. I'm not here to push either candidate. I'm simply here to give you the truth that you need before you go into the voting booth and you pull that lever. And if you are in the middle class or the lower class, this may be the most important video that you watch this year because this affects you and I. So what is the main issue that you will be voting on? Don't let anybody pull the wool over your eyes. This is the facts, and you need to know them.
You can see when Kamala Harris took over the administration in January of 2020, the inflation rate year over year was only 1.4%. It immediately began to climb due to legislation passed by her and Joe Biden with the Inflation Reduction Act and the stimulus package from COVID-19. This increased the money supply, which increases the inflation rate immediately. You can see it reached its height in 2022. This is when the Federal Reserve took action and raised the interest rates. This is done to consume the additional money in the economy and reduce the rate of inflation. And as rates continually increased, you can see the year-over-year inflation rate continue to decrease. To April of 2023, it was less than 5%. This, however, does have consequences elsewhere in the market in that interest rates increasing means the cost of goods increase, such as the monthly payments on a car purchase now cost significantly more due to the higher interest rate. Purchases of a new home cost consumers extremely more due to the higher monthly mortgage rates that can exceed several $100s due to the increased interest rate. Even though the inflation rate has come down, the cost of utilities and energy still remains high. The interest rate has not affected those prices at all. The prices of food and groceries remains high. The Fed raising the interest rate and lowering the inflation rate year over year has not brought down the prices of food at all. That's because the gas prices and all the petroleum industry prices still remain high, although they have decreased significantly over the last year. But what is the reason for the decrease in the cost of fuel over the last year? Fuel is the other major contributing factor in the raising prices of inflation, including groceries and energy. And you can see in 2020, the fuel price per gallon was $2.17. Also, the U.S. holds a reserve for natural disasters and war called the Strategic Oil Reserve. And you can see in December of 2020, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve held 638.1 million barrels of oil just in case. That is max capacity. On day one of the Biden and Harris administration, they restricted oil production in the U.S., which caused gas prices to skyrocket. You can see here in Pullman, Washington, in October of 2021, the fuel prices had already began to get out of control, which increased the food prices as well. The same gas station in September of 2022 shows fuel prices at their height. And this brought the food and energy prices and utility prices to their height as well. Then, with 1 year out from the election, Harris and Biden dumped 291 million barrels of oil on the open market from our strategic oil reserve so that it would reduce the price of fuel and bring down prices of goods just in time for the 2024 election. Now we're facing a perfect storm. With the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at its lowest capacity since 1983, they can't dump any more oil on the open market to keep the oil prices down. With one side refusing to increase oil production, that means that after the election, if Harris are elected, that the oil prices will skyrocket back to their heights of 2023. The food prices, the utility prices will increase again as well, and then all of the consumer goods that we consume, vehicles, homes, utilities, food, and gas, will absolutely annihilate the middle and lower class of this country, and we will have nowhere else to turn but to the U.S. government to beg for help.
20, another hanger-on could be when, as a presidential candidate, she came out against fracking in the fossil fuel industry.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
In her vice presidential debate, she had this to say about Biden.
Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact.
Great people of America, I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We will drill, baby, drill.
So, folks, the choice is clear, and it is a dire choice come election time. Take the personalities out, take the people out. It's the policies that you need to vote on this term. If you want to be able to afford to buy food, gas, pay your utility bills, purchase a new car, maybe purchase a new home someday, the only way it's going to happen is to vote the right way in this election. This election means more than any other election in history, I can assure you, because we've already been shown what these current policies will do to us. There is no more oil in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for them to dump on the open market to keep the oil prices down. Once this election is over, they're either going to open up fuel production or they're going to continue to keep it closed, and we are done for. This election has real consequences. But folks, please like and subscribe to this channel. Post your comments, post your thoughts, even post your criticisms. I like to hear it all. And until next time, your host, Pavoratiis, is out.